An important element of what makes sports so cool culturally is because sports look super cool in general. There's the Barry Bonds elbow pad that made him look like a Terminator that suddenly learned how to bat ball good. Fewer players could make the quarterback arm sleeve look as swaggy as Johnny Manziel. And Tiger Woods in the red polo was a signal that the final day of the tournament was here, and that you shouldn't have bothered showing up. I could write videos on all of these things individually, but that's not why I'm here. Today I'm here to talk about the basketball headband. For many, the headband might just be seen as a practical thing. For some, it might just be a way to keep the sweat away from the player's eyes. Think of the sweatiest player you've ever played basketball with. Yeah, it serves a purpose. But more than that, I think that the headband has always had an extra cool factor depending on who's been wearing it. For some people, it just looks great, and other people should just never do it. Today, let's talk about it. If you're new here, welcome in, and if you know me, welcome back. Thank you guys to everyone who's liked, subscribed, commented. Everything helps the YouTube algorithm. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. It keeps being surreal the closer and closer I get to it. So thank you for all the support, and let's get right back into the video. Basketball players have worn headbands for a long time. Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell can be seen as the early adopters wearing headbands in color photos. But the person who truly popularized the headband was a man that went by the name of Slick Watts. A Seattle legend, Slick gets a lot of credit for making the headband look cool. In fact, Watts made the headband so cool that when he retired and became a PE teacher, one of his students that made the league decided to wear the headband as paying homage. That player is Jason Terry. I'm going to jump around from time to time because I'm not trying to tell a complete history of the headband, I'm just trying to highlight iconic headband wearers. Starting with Bobcats legend Adam Morrison, who started wearing one in the NBA after not wearing one in Gonzaga. Alright, today I want to talk about iconic. Let's start with Allen Iverson. AI didn't originally start his NBA career wearing the headband. He started wearing them at around the 2000-2001 season, and it's hard to find pictures of Allen Iverson after that without a headband. Iverson was also a fan of wearing the double-colored headband, which went really well with 76ers colors. He was also an early pioneer of the headband and arm sleeve combo, which had kids all over the country cutting holes in socks and wearing them on their arms. I was one of those kids. Speaking of double headbands, there was a time where Tim Thomas tried to wear two headbands at once. The NBA immediately shut that down, but then Thomas found it really funny that an NBA double-colored headband was worn by Iverson later.
It was a national televised game, and here comes AI with the one headband with the three different colors in the headband. And I said, oh wow, isn't that interesting?
This might just be me, but I think the headband definitely has different vibes depending on what position you play. When you play as a big, it kind of has a sense of power attached to it. Imagine this, you're driving down the lane, and then you see a dude in an afro and a headband trying to block your shot. Surprise! It's Ben Wallace, here to make you question why you even tried him in the first place. I know I'm a Pistons fan, so I bring them up whenever I can, but that 2004 team had three starters that wore headbands. Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and Rip Hamilton. For Ben, it was a symbol of an enforcer. For Rip, it was a symbol of sharpshooting. And for Rasheed Wallace, it was something to throw when he got mad. Now, two players can be on the same team and wear a headband completely different. For example, you have Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. I will say that Antoine Walker didn't wear headbands that often in his career, but when he did, it looked way different. For Ben Wallace, the headband was an important part of his aura, his mystique, and it was once a vehicle that got him benched. Scott Skiles benched him for wearing a headband. And the Bulls weren't the only team to ban the headband, and some of this coincides with the NBA trying to clean up their image after the Malice at the Palace, which had Ben Wallace, who was wearing a headband, in the middle of a fight. And then you had Steven Jackson, who was wearing a headband, slapping the shit out of a fan in the crowd. Do I support the no headband rule? No, because that's whack. But I digress. Utah Jazz head coaches Frank Layden and Jerry Sloan notoriously had a no headband policy, which led to a lot of people that used to wear headbands joining the Jazz and not wearing them. Ronnie Brewer and Dee Brown used to wear headbands in college, but they had to ditch them when they were on the Jazz. The greatest wearer of the headband in my eyes, Derek Fisher, had to ditch it in Utah. And I'm serious. Look, man, he used to wear the headband over his ears. And then he had to get rid of it at Utah, bro. Look at this, man. Come on. Paul Pierce started wearing headbands in his 4th season and became one of the more iconic players to wear the headband in his era. I feel like I have to lead with that because when you type in Paul Pierce headband into Google, the first result is when he threw his headband into the crowd after a game, and then someone caught the headband and threw it back at him. Back to what I was saying. Bigs like Zach Randolph, Cliff Robinson, and Jermaine O'Neal kind of signified bully ball, while guards that wear the headband just have that extra sense of swagger. Just look at Rajon Rondo highlights with the white headband and the black headband. It just gives it a little more seasoning to it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe this video is just for me. And the same goes for the WNBA. Maya Moore on the links with the headband and double sleeve combo, which can be either really cool or really diabolical work. Maya Moore makes it look awesome. Then you have Candace Parker, who wore the headband all the way from her McDonald's All-American days. Asia Wilson is also notorious for wearing the headband in today's game. Now, before I start wrapping things up, I also have to talk about one other form of the headband. The Ninja headband briefly gained popularity at around the 2018-2019 season, and Jimmy Butler, Mike Scott, and Drew Holiday were early examples of people wearing it. The NBA swiftly banned it the season after they classified it as a safety issue, which is whack. Moving on. Some players go off and on with the headband throughout their career so much that either look suits them. For LeBron, he got rid of the headband in 2015 because he wanted to look like his teammates. And you can say it worked, because it brought him a championship, but he has since brought it back sometimes with the Lakers. Now Luka has gone back and forth wearing the headband, and honestly, he gets buckets when he wears the headband, so I'm fine with either, honestly. And now we move on to my favorite category, when a certain player plays with a headband and it looks weird. In 2022, Jokic wore a headband, and it didn't look right at all. Jason Tatum's headband era doesn't look normal to me, and I used to think it's because of where the logo was placed. Like, look how Jokic is wearing it to the side. That seems more normal to me, like he understood the assignment. But then I was doing some digging, and Tatum wears it like LeBron does. LeBron wears it with the logo just straight up. And I think it's because Tatum doesn't wear it that often, which makes it stand out more in my opinion. The jury is still out on Austin Reeves in my book, but Chet Holmgren? No. Also, I'm not going to say that this one looks bad, but headband Klay Thompson just looks so dystopian to me sometimes. And at least Tyrese Halliburton had the presence of mind to realize that the headband was just not for him. CJ McCollum? No sir. Ben Simmons? On the fence. Cameron Payne? Never again. Vince Carter didn't start out wearing the headband, but once he put it on, he became a premium member of the Headband Society. Look, I can go on and on about the business of headbands, but one thing is for sure. The players that wear them stand out, for better or for worse. Thank you for watching to the end of my video. I appreciate you guys so much. And now, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Elgato. Elgato has everything that you might need for content creation. This video is sponsored by Elgato. Elgato is the perfect place for all your content creation needs. They have capture cards, webcams, lighting, green screens, prompters, you name it. Pictured here is everything that I use in my current setup. And look, I've been using Elgato products for upwards of 7 years now. Yeah, oh my goodness, 7 years now. And I just love how every product is seamless with each other. It allows you to have so much versatility and variation with whatever setup you need, whether it's making YouTube videos, whether it's streaming, you name it. Despite how it looks, I'm not the best memorizer of words, so the Elgato prompter is really, really helpful for me, coming from a broadcast journalism background, to feel like I'm just reading a script as if I'm reading the news. All the Elgato products work really well together and allows you to build your dream content creation setup. And it makes it very user-friendly and very easy to set up. It's not that complicated. Each product only takes a little bit of time to set up, but once you do, you have great content creation tools. If you are interested in Elgato for any of your content creation needs, you can use my link in the description below for a discount. Thank you again to Elgato for sponsoring this video. Bye, y'all.